Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be tackling wealth creation, but with a twist.
Oh, a twist.
Yeah, so we've got this really interesting piece that basically says true wealth, it's not about the money. It's about having freedom and control over your time.
Okay, I like that.
I know, right? It's like super intriguing.
It is. It is.
So, ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So, the source we're looking at today, it kind of lays out this whole framework for understanding wealth creation. And it starts with what it calls the 4 levels of earning.
Okay, 4 levels.
Yeah, 4 levels.
Yeah.
And you can think of them like stepping stones, each one giving you more autonomy, more control over your time and your income.
So it's like a progression.
Exactly.
Right.
And it all starts with level 1, the one that I think most of us, we've been there.
Oh, yeah.
It's that classic 9 to 5 grind, right?
Yeah.
Trading hours for dollars.
Yeah.
You put in the time, you get a paycheck. The source gives this example of little Lai, who's like stuck in this cycle, just working, but not really getting ahead.
It's like you're on that treadmill, right? You're constantly putting the effort, but you're not really moving forward financially, and you don't have that freedom to actually enjoy life.
Ooh, yeah. You're always chasing your tail.
Uh,
But here's where things get interesting. So level 2, it's all about using that 9 to 5, maybe that job you don't love, to build skills and knowledge.
it's about planting those seeds for the future.
Okay, I like that. Planting seeds.
Yeah.
So you're saying even if you're in a job that you're not like head over heels in love with,
Right.
there's still opportunity there.
There is, absolutely. So maybe you're taking on some new responsibilities at work, or maybe you're like, I don't know, learning a new software program, or even
Yeah.
just reading books and articles related to your field.
Yeah.
All that stuff, it adds up. It becomes valuable expertise that you can leverage down the line.
Okay. So it's like, okay, you're working that level 2, you're gaining those skills. Then level 3 is where things start to get, I don't know, even more exciting, I guess I'd say.
Yeah,
Because
right.
this is where people start to create systems that generate income even when they're not actively working.
That's the dream, right?
I know.
Yeah.
The source calls these people IPers. They're creating intellectual property, things like online courses, ebooks, templates, or maybe even like systems or processes that they can teach to other people.
So it's all about like multiplying your time's value, right?
Yeah.
Turning your knowledge into something that can be sold again and again.
There's this super cool example in the source. This guy back in the 90s, he became like a PowerPoint master.
Wait, really? PowerPoint?
PowerPoint. I'm not even kidding. He made like incredible templates and taught other people how to do the same thing.
Mhm.
And he built $1 million business around PowerPoint.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
It's like you don't even think about that, right? You think PowerPoint, boring. But this guy turned it into a gold mine.
Exactly. And it's not just digital products either, right?
No, absolutely not.
Like think about chefs. They create online cooking courses.
Right. Or authors, they earn royalties, consultants, they develop their own systems. They're all creating assets that generate income even while they're sleeping.
Passive income. I love it. Okay, so we've gone from the 9 to 5 grind to building skills to creating these systems that make money on autopilot.
Yeah.
But then there's level 4.
Okay, level 4.
This is where things get like really aspirational.
What's level 4 all about?
Level 4 is about using your money to buy other people's time to create even more value.
So we're talking like entrepreneurs and investors.
Exactly. You're building businesses, you're making deals, you're making decisions that leverage other people's talents to grow your wealth.
Yeah.
So I want you to think about this, listeners. Like, where do you see yourself on this like spectrum of earning levels? And what would it take to, level up to get to that point where money is working for you, not the other way around?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To create a life where you have options and freedom, where you're not constantly tied to a job just to make ends meet.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've got these 4 levels laid out like a roadmap, but how do you actually make that climb? Like, how do you shift your mindset to reach those higher levels?
Well, the source, it dives into 3 key mindsets that are crucial for anyone looking to build true wealth. And I'm not just talking about money in the bank. I'm talking about that lasting wealth that goes beyond just the numbers.
Right, okay, so what's the first mindset?
So the first one is the value mindset.
Yeah.
And the source asks this really thought-provoking question. Why do some people, even with the same skills and experience, why do they earn way more than others?
That is a good question. I've definitely wondered that myself.
I know, right? And it's not just about working harder. There's got to be something more to it.
And the answer is, it's about understanding that your earning potential It's not just about what you can do, but the value you bring to the table.
Mm.
Those who earn more, they've mastered the art of delivering exceptional value, going above and beyond what's expected.
So it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly. But what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, that's where we'll pick things up in part 2.
Okay, so last time we were talking about that value mindset, right?
Yeah.
And how it's key to, really unlocking true wealth.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of curious, like, what does it actually look like, to deliver that exceptional value?
Well, you want to be indispensable.
Okay.
Become the go-to person for your clients, your employer, whoever it is, solving problems creatively, anticipating needs, constantly honing your skills to offer something truly unique and valuable.
So it's not just about, like, doing your job. It's about becoming, like, I don't know, almost like an asset, like a valuable, irreplaceable puzzle piece.
Exactly. Yeah, think about it. If you're a writer, maybe you don't just deliver clean copy.
Right.
You also do deep research, you offer strategic insights that help your clients actually achieve their business goals.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're a programmer,
Okay.
maybe you don't just write code, you understand the user experience and you can create interfaces that are intuitive and engaging.
So it's like you're going beyond, like, the basic job description. You're becoming, like, a true expert, someone who brings more than just, like, technical skills to the table.
Right.
But having those valuable skills, that's only half the equation, right?
Yeah.
The source talks about the monetization mindset, too.
Yes, because value is only truly realized when it's exchanged.
Okay.
You could be the most brilliant artist, musician, entrepreneur, but if you're not putting yourself out there and figuring out how to get paid for your expertise, it doesn't really matter.
So you're saying it's not enough to just be good at something. You got to figure out how to package it, how to sell those skills
Exactly.
to a market that's willing to pay for it.
Right. So you need to understand, like, what are the needs and desires of your target market? And how can you create solutions that cater to those needs?
Oh, okay, I see.
And the source gives this great example. Chefs who take their culinary skills beyond the kitchen
Okay.
and create, like, online cooking courses.
So they're not just cooking amazing meals anymore. They're teaching other people,
Yes. They're sharing their expertise.
creating a recurring income stream. That's awesome.
And it's not just cooking. Fitness instructors offer online workout programs. Musicians, they teach virtual music lessons. Writers, they create self-publishing courses. Like, the possibilities are really endless.
It makes you think about all the untapped potential out there, like all these people with amazing skills,
Right.
but they haven't figured out how to monetize them yet.
And that's where that monetization mindset comes in. You got to be proactive.
Okay.
Explore those different avenues for income generation. Don't be afraid to experiment and think outside that traditional job model.
Okay, so we've got the value mindset, right? Be awesome at what you do.
Yeah.
We've got the monetization mindset, figure out how to get paid for it. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, right?
Right. The compound effect mindset.
Okay, yeah, the compound effect.
This one's about playing the long game. Understanding that small, consistent actions taken over time,
Yeah.
they can lead to extraordinary results.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. True wealth, same thing. It's built brick by brick, habit by habit.
The source gives this example, like just dedicating 30 minutes each day to learning something new. It doesn't seem like a lot, right?
Yeah.
But think about it over like a decade or two.
Right. It's
With those
crazy.
tiny drops of water that carve out canyons. It's that power of consistency over time.
Absolutely.
I'm so guilty of wanting the quick wins, the instant results.
Yeah, we all are.
But this compound effect mindset, it's a good reminder.
Yeah.
True success, it's a slow burn, like a gradual accumulation of knowledge, skills, and experiences.
Right. And it's not just about learning new things, right? It could be investing a small amount of money each month, networking with one new person in your field every week, or even dedicating 30 minutes each day to working on a side hustle.
Okay, so listeners, I want you to think about this right now. Think of one area in your life where you could apply that compound effect mindset.
Yeah.
What's that one small, consistent action you could take each day that could have a big impact on your life 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now?
It's a powerful question.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got these three powerful mindsets. Valuing your skills, finding ways to monetize them, embracing the compound effect. But where do the opportunities actually come from? Like, where do you find those chances to actually put these mindsets into action?
Well, the source offers some pretty interesting strategies for spotting and seizing new opportunities. And one of the most intriguing ones is to solve more expensive problems.
Okay, yeah. I remember we talked about that porcelain jar example,
Right.
how the same jar could be sold for way more if it was marketed as a pet urn, rather than just a container for tea.
Right. It was about understanding the emotional needs of the market
Okay, yeah.
and positioning the product accordingly.
Okay, got it. But this applies to skills and services too, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like identifying those markets that are willing to pay a premium for solutions to their most pressing problems.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you actually find those high-value problems? It's not like they're just listed somewhere.
Well, one approach is to look for industries or niches where customers are having major pain points or frustrations, things that haven't really been addressed properly.
Okay.
Maybe there's a gap in the market, a need for a specific service or product that's just not available.
So for example, let's say you're like really tech savvy
Okay.
and you notice that a lot of small businesses in your area, they're struggling to manage their online presence. Like that, they're not using social media effectively or their websites are outdated.
You could create a service that helps them streamline their digital marketing, improve their visibility,
Yeah.
boost their sales.
And because you're solving a problem that's directly impacting their bottom line,
Right.
they're probably willing to pay more for your expertise.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so what else?
Another strategy the source highlights is to solve troublesome problems. Now, these aren't always the most glamorous or high-profile issues,
Okay.
but they cause a lot of headaches, a lot of inefficiencies for people.
That makes sense. Like that pain relief ointment we talked about, right? The re-engineered one?
Yes.
Just eliminating hassle and inconvenience. That's how you create a winning product.
And think about all those little annoyances we all deal with every day.
Mm.
Finding a reliable dog walker,
Mm-hmm.
assembling furniture, deciphering instruction manuals that come with new gadgets.
Ugh, don't even get me started on those instruction manuals.
Wait.
Sometimes it's like they're written in a foreign language.
Exactly. And that's where the opportunity is. Could you create a service that simplifies these tasks for people? Dog walking, furniture assembly, user-friendly video tutorials for those gadgets.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
All those little things we complain about, they could actually be business opportunities.
Exactly. A lot of times the most successful businesses, they solve problems that other people have overlooked or dismissed as too niche or too small.
Okay, so we've got solving expensive problems, tackling those troublesome ones. What's the third strategy for finding these hidden opportunities?
This one might be the most inspiring. Solve problems others won't.
Oh yeah, we talked about that supermarket chain earlier.
Right.
They prioritize customer service and employee benefits
Yeah.
over just maximizing profits.
Yeah, and it seemed counterintuitive.
He did.
But it was a brilliant strategy, right?
Right.
It built a loyal customer base, a positive brand image. They stood out from the competition.
Exactly. So this approach is about like thinking beyond traditional business models, embracing those values-driven solutions.
Exactly. Recognizing that profit and purpose, they can coexist. You can build a successful business while also making a positive impact on the world.
I love that. It's not just about chasing money. It's about making a difference.
Yeah.
Building a business that reflects your values, your beliefs.
And that can be incredibly powerful, especially these days when consumers are really drawn to businesses that are ethical, sustainable, purpose-driven.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've got these three powerful mindsets for creating wealth, three strategies for spotting those opportunities. It's like a roadmap for building a life of true freedom and abundance.
It really is. And the best part is it can be applied to any field, any industry.
That's awesome.
Creative professional, tech enthusiast, aspiring entrepreneur, these principles can guide you towards a more fulfilling and financially rewarding path.
Okay, so just to recap quickly, we've got the 4 levels of earning, moving from trading time for money to creating systems that generate income.
Right.
We've got those 3 essential mindsets, valuing your skills, finding ways to monetize them, and embracing that compound effect.
And those 3 awesome strategies for uncovering opportunities, solving expensive problems, tackling troublesome ones, and addressing the problems everyone else ignores.
And at the heart of all of this, time is your most valuable asset.
Absolutely.
It's about being intentional with how you spend it, investing in your skills and knowledge, building systems that let you leverage your time more effectively. Now, before we move on, I want to leave you with a question. If you could design your ideal workday, what would it look like? What tasks would you find the most joy in? What activities would let you use your unique skills and passions to make a real impact?
What would it look like to truly love what you do and feel like you're making a difference? Because that's really what true wealth is all about.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. As we're wrapping up our exploration of true wealth, I'm feeling super inspired by all these ideas. It's not just about like the money.
Yeah.
It's about crafting a life where you have that freedom, that control over your most valuable resource, your time.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. We've covered so much ground. We explored the 4 levels of earning, how to break free from trading time for money, and how to start building those systems that generate income even when you're not actively working.
And we talked about those essential mindsets, valuing your skills, figuring out how to monetize them, and embracing that compound effect.
And all those awesome strategies for uncovering opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Tackling the expensive problems, the troublesome ones, the ones everyone else avoids.
Exactly. But okay, we've got all this knowledge now.
Yeah.
But how do we actually use it? How do we turn these ideas into real change?
Well, the source gets into some really practical steps. And the first one might seem surprisingly simple, but it's super powerful. Audit your time.
Okay, so like track your time. Almost like you'd create a budget, but for your hours.
Exactly. Take a close look at how you're actually spending your days, your weeks. Make a detailed log. Where are those hours going? What are you really spending your time on?
And no cheating. Right. Got to be brutally honest. It's so easy to underestimate how much time we spend like scrolling on social media or getting lost down internet rabbit holes.
Totally. But once you have a clear picture of where your time is actually going, then you can start to identify those areas where you can be more intentional, more strategic.
So once we've found those time-wasting black holes, what do we do?
Then it's all about prioritization. Ask yourself some tough questions. What activities truly align with your goals, your values? What tasks are essential for your well-being, your productivity? And what can you delegate, eliminate, or just say no to?
It's about taking back control,
Yes.
making conscious choices about how you spend your time, directing it toward those things that bring you closer to what you really want.
Exactly. Whether it's building a business, pursuing a passion, or just spending more time with loved ones.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Another key step the source highlights is setting clear, specific goals.
Okay, goals.
And I'm not talking about those vague aspirations. I'm talking about measurable objectives, deadlines, the whole 9 yards.
So it's about moving from like wishful thinking to actual action plans.
Right.
What do you actually want to achieve?
Exactly. In the next year, 5 years, 10 years, don't be afraid to dream big, but then break those big goals down into smaller steps. That way you don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't just stare at the summit the whole time.
Yeah.
You focus on the next step, the next handhold. And eventually those small steps, they add up to real progress.
Exactly. And having those clear goals gives you direction, it keeps you motivated, it helps you stay focused on what matters, make choices that align with your vision.
Love it. So goals, check. What else do we need to keep in mind?
The source also talks about the power of building efficient habits.
Oh yeah, habits.
Habits are like the foundation of productivity. They automate our actions, they free up mental energy for the more creative, strategic stuff.
So what are some habits that can like supercharge productivity?
Well, one classic one is the early to rise habit.
Ah, the early bird gets the worm.
Exactly. A lot of really successful people swear by starting their day early, when it's quiet, when their minds are fresh.
I've heard that one,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm cut out for the early bird life.
And that's totally fine. The key is to find what works for you. Maybe your peak productivity time is late at night, or maybe you need structured routines throughout the day. Just experiment. See what helps you maximize your effectiveness.
That makes sense. The source also mentioned something called the Pomodoro technique. What is that?
Oh, it's a time management method where you work in focused bursts of 25 minutes, followed by short breaks. The idea is to break down big tasks into smaller chunks and to use those focus intervals to really maximize your output.
So it's like tricking your brain into focusing by promising it a reward after each little burst.
Exactly. It can be really helpful for avoiding distractions and staying on track. And there are tons of other productivity hacks out there. Time blocking, prioritizing your to-do list, minimizing distractions. Just find what works for you and stick with it.
Okay, so experiment. Find those good habits.
Yeah.
What else?
The source also emphasizes the importance of finding synergy between your skills and interests.
Synergy.
Yeah, it's about finding those sweet spots where your passions and abilities overlap.
So like if you're a graphic designer who loves to cook,
Exactly. Maybe you create visually stunning recipe books, or you design packaging for food products, or maybe you're a writer who's passionate about fitness. You could become a health and wellness writer, create content for blogs, magazines, fitness apps. It's about leveraging those diverse skills to create something unique.
I like that. So it's not just about like following your passion. It's about finding those places where your passions and your skills, they kind of come together.
Exactly. And the source also reminds us it's okay to experiment and even make mistakes.
Oh yeah, you're going to mess up sometimes.
Absolutely. Failure is just part of the
It's
process.
all about learning from those mistakes, right?
Yeah, view them as learning opportunities, adjust your course, and don't give up.
So it's about embracing a growth mindset, seeing challenges not as setbacks, but as chances to learn and grow.
Exactly. And remember, this journey to true wealth, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's about consistent progress, celebrating those small wins, and enjoying the ride along the way.
So as we wrap up today, let's think about that question from before. If you could design your perfect workday, what would it look like?
Yeah, what would it look like to love what you do, to feel like you're making a difference? That's what true wealth is all about, right?
It's about having that freedom to spend your time on the things that really matter. Whether it's pursuing your passions, building a business, spending time with loved ones, giving back to your community. So keep these principles in mind as you go about your day. Embrace the journey, experiment, learn, grow, and never stop striving for that life of true wealth and freedom.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's it for the Deep Dive today. Thank you so much for joining us.